sea turtle. The majestic surfer of the ocean is the sea turtle, also known as the marine turtles, are the master swimmers of the seas, or so the myth goes. 6 of the 7 species of sea turtles, including loggerheads and leatherbacks, are in risk from humans. Unfortunately, the reality is that they encounter numerous threats as they navigate the oceans, including accidental capture and entanglement in fishing gear, also known as bycatch, the loss of breeding and feeding areas to coastal development, poaching, and ocean pollution, especially plastic. Despite having a good affinity for the sea, these organisms need air to survive. Depending on the species, they can range in size from the diminutive Kemp's Ridley, which weighs between 80 and 100 pounds, to the massive leatherback, which can weigh more than 1,000 pounds. Welcome to the Animal Channel, the one channel for all the interesting animal facts around the globe. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Any of the 7 marine turtle species that fall within the families Dermachelidae, which includes leatherback sea turtles, and Cheloniidae, which includes green turtles, flatback sea turtles, loggerhead sea turtles, hawksbill sea turtles, and Ridley sea turtles. Both families are predominantly aquatic, and the majority of species only show up on coastal beaches to lay eggs. However, the green turtle will occasionally sunbathe on land. Although youngsters of both families naturally occur in more temperate regions, adult sea turtles are primarily found in tropical and subtropical environments. Green turtle, chelonian, reptile, and animal. Dermachelids and cheloniids are distantly related. Between 100 and 150 million years ago, they diverged from one another. Both groups, however, possess streamlined shells, forelimbs adapted into flippers that help them move through the water, figure-8 swimming strokes, and big, completely webbed rear feet that act as rudders. Hard-shelled sea turtles known as cheloniids have a plastron bottom shell covered in epidermal scales and a bony carapace or top shell. The Dermachelid leatherback shell, in contrast, has a substantially reduced bony architecture and fewer solidly articulated bones. Scales emerge on hatchlings, but they are swiftly lost, leaving a thick, leathery skin over the bony shell. The 7 species have a wide range in size, yet they have similarities in habitat and nutrition. With a few notable exceptions, the majority of sea turtles are carnivorous and prefer warm, coastal waters. The pelagic or open ocean settings are home to leatherback sea turtles. It appears to roam widely throughout the waters, following the blooms of its jellyfish prey. Few species have shell lengths longer than 1.6 meters, though some have apparently reached 2.4 meters. Olive ridleys, both adults and juveniles, are primarily pelagic but are known to frequent coastal areas such bays and estuaries. The olive ridley and its cousin, the Kemp's Ridley, are small marine turtles with rounded, wide shells. Both species have shells that are between 58 and 78 cm long as adults. Adult shell lengths for loggerhead and green sea turtles range from 0.9 to 1.2 meters. The loggerhead loves marine settings along the coast and is a carnivore. It possesses the sea turtle's largest heads in proportion, which may be an adaptation that strengthens its jaws so it can crush the shells of giant mollusks like whelks. The green turtle is a common sight in warm coastal seas all around the world, but unlike other sea turtles, it primarily eats algae or marine sedges. The hawksbill sea turtle is a common species in coral reef settings that are primarily tropical, where it eats sponges and various other invertebrates. The waters between Australia and New Guinea are home to the flatback sea turtle, which eats a variety of crustaceans. Adults of both species have shells that are 90 to 100 cm long. All oceans, excluding the polar ones, are home to sea turtles. Only the northern Australian coast is home to the flatback sea turtle. Only the Gulf of Mexico and the east coast of the United States contain Kemp's Ridley sea turtles. The waters over continental shelves are where sea turtles are typically found. Sea turtles spend the majority of their early years of development floating in seaweed mats in the pelagic zone. Sargasso mats are a common habitat for sea turtles, especially green sea turtles, where they can find food, protection, and water. Once it reaches adulthood, the sea turtle travels closer to the beach. During the nesting season, females will come ashore to lay their eggs on sand beaches. To get to their breeding beaches, which are few in number, sea turtles must travel. Because they live in the ocean, they typically travel over great distances. Every sea turtle has a big body, which is advantageous for covering long distances. Huge body proportions also provide effective defense against large predators, particularly oceanic sharks. Due to a decline in human activity brought on by the COVID-19 virus, sea turtle nesting increased in 2020. An unusually high number of nests were observed in some location of Thailand, and a similar occurrence was noted in Florida. These observations might be explained by less plastic use and light pollution. Sea turtles mature sexually over several decades. To get to mating grounds, mature sea turtles may travel thousands of miles. Adult female sea turtles return to land to lay their eggs after mating at sea. Diverse sea turtle species display varying degrees of philopatry. In the worst-case scenario, females visit the seashore where they hatched. In mature animals, this can happen every 2 to 4 years. Almost always at night, the mature nesting female drags herself onto the sand in search of good sand for a nest. She creates a circular hole that is 40 to 50 centimeters deep using her rear flippers. The female then begins laying her clutch of soft-shelled eggs in the nest after the hole has been dug. A typical clutch may contain 50 to 350 eggs, depending on the species. After laying, she refills the nest with sand, smoothing out the top, and conceals it with vegetation until it is essentially invisible from the outside. She might also dig booby-trap nests. It takes 30 to 60 minutes to complete the operation. She leaves the eggs unattended and goes back to the sea. In one season, females are capable of producing 1 to 8 nests. The mating and egg-laying processes for female sea turtles alternate between the ocean and the land. Most marine turtle species lay their eggs on their own. In contrast, a mass stranding of Ridley sea turtles is called an arybita. This happens during the day for Kemp's Ridley sea turtles. The sex of a developing sea turtle depends on the temperature it is exposed to, since sea turtles have temperature-dependent sex determination. Male and female hatchlings are produced by warmer and lower temperatures, respectively. The eggs will take 50 to 60 days to incubate. One nest's eggs all hatch at once during a brief period of time. The young sea turtles claw their way out of the eggshell, across the sand, and into the water. Most sea turtle species molt at night. The Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, on the other hand, typically hatches during the day. In addition to being more susceptible to predators, sea turtle nests that hatch during the day may also experience increased human activity on the beach. Compared to smaller individuals, larger hatchlings have a higher chance of surviving, which can be attributed to the fact that they grow faster and are hence less vulnerable to predators. Larger people are less frequently attacked by predators since they can only consume so much food at one time. According to research on the subject, body size and speed are positively connected. Therefore, larger newborn sea turtles are exposed to predators for a shorter period of time. The evolution of huge body sizes has been facilitated by the fact that chelonians are subject to size-dependent predation. In floating sargassomads, Carr found that the young of green and loggerhead sea turtles spend a significant portion of their pelagic life in 1987. They found plenty of food and shelter inside these mats. Young sea turtles eat in the vicinity of upwelling fronts when sargassum is absent. In 2007, Ride found that the first 3 to 5 years of a green sea turtle's life are spent in pelagic waters. Pre-juveniles of this species were discovered to consume zooplankton and smaller nekton in the open ocean before being recruited into inshore seagrass meadows as obligate herbivores. The interior environment of sea turtles is hypotonic to the ocean. They must expel too many salt ions in order to keep their hypotonicity. 43 since reptilian kidneys are unable to produce urine with an ion concentration higher than that of seawater. Sea turtles, like other marine reptiles, rely on a specialized gland to eliminate excess salt from the body. A lacrimal gland in the orbital cavity of all species of sea turtles is equipped to produce tears that are more salted than seawater. Since their main food sources are jellyfish and other gelatinous plankton, whose fluids contain the same level of salts as seawater, leatherback sea turtles confront a greater osmotic challenge than other species of sea turtles. It's possible that a leatherback sea turtle's considerably larger lacrimal gland evolved to handle the increased salt intake from their diet. Even with the fact that leatherback sea turtle tears can have a salt ion concentration approximately double that of other sea turtle species, a consistent output of concentrated salty tears may be necessary to balance the input of salts from frequent feeding. All 7 species are thought to be endangered or threatened. Hawksbill and Kemp's Ridley are both severely endangered. Wall green is endangered, leatherback, olive ridley, and loggerhead are all threatened. The IUCN Red List classifies flatbacks as dartapore. However, Australia classifies them as endangered. Only one hatchling survives to become an adult, according to estimates, out of 1,000. Birds, crabs, fish, and animals like raccoons are just a few of their many natural predators. However, the female adults can produce thousands of eggs throughout their lives, ensuring that at least a small number of them survive to preserve the species. As such, it is our duty to learn and grow the need to watch over these peaceful creatures. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment below. Turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos.